Hello everybody, my name is Hector Rivas, and in today's lesson I'm going to talk about Laura Price, which the new animator that I continue to show. I am a big fan of hers because she records everything along her journey, and she wants to share it with people, future animators, to help them guide them in their pathway. And I love that. I love that spirit. So I'm gonna have her talk to you guys about the Animators Guild, which is kind of a union, and salaries, like relatively current salaries. So you get to hear it directly from somebody who is working right now in the animation industry. So let me show you her video right now.
At Disney TV Animation. I'm a background painter on Tangled the series, and I also do freelance for character design and visual development. You can see some of the art I make for Disney as well as my personal art over on my Instagram, Lulu Sketches. It's finally starting to feel like fall in LA, and that is why my dog is wearing a fox sweater. Look at this sweater. Today I'm spilling the tea on how much money animation artists really make, fam. So in this video, I'm going to go over union minimums for animation artist jobs, as well as average pay of artist jobs, and maximums, so you can get an idea of the going rates for current jobs in the animation industry. I actually did research for this video, so it wouldn't be a hot mess, so if you could give this video a thumbs up, that would be real good. So, I mentioned union minimums. To understand how much animation artists get paid, you need to understand how a labor union works. Most of the big studios you've heard of are part of the Animation Guild in Los Angeles. So studios like Disney, DreamWorks, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Sony. Can I name all the studios? I did not mention Pixar, but I'll get to that. Since I'm an artist who works at these studios, I am a member of the Animation Guild. When you're hired at one of these animation studios in a position under the Guild's jurisdiction, you would join the Animation Guild too after 30 days employment. You would pay an initiation fee to join the Guild, and then you pay dues a few times a year. The Animation Guild is a union that helps artists get decent wages and better working conditions through collective bargaining. Under a collective bargaining agreement, there are minimum wages for each job title that have to be given to us. Basically, the Guild makes sure that we are paid a certain amount, and that we get things like vacation days, sick days, pensions, healthcare, paid overtime, and I set up my 401k through the Guild. So for how much we're paid, you can view the minimum wages for any artist job on the Animation Guild website at animationguild.org. All the numbers I'm going to go over now are from the contracts and wages section of the website. So all the collective bargaining agreements are linked here. Some studios have their own separate collective bargaining agreement, and those are linked on here also. So first, let's check out the master collective bargaining agreement. So click here and scroll down to page 64. This is where all the minimum wages are listed for each artist job. So the minimums increase with time, and your minimum will increase the longer you've worked at a studio. You'll have a certain minimum your first 6 months, your second 6 months. Once you've worked for a year as an artist, you get the Journey minimum pay. The Journey minimum pay for the last collective bargaining agreement was $1,888 per week for storyboard artists, layout artists, background painters, visual development artists, character designers, and prop designers. These are weekly payments before taxes, which take a massive chunk out of our payments. So you might be thinking, ooh, so what is the yearly salary? But that's the thing about the entertainment industry. These aren't salaried positions. These jobs don't always last a year, and if they do, there's going to be hiatuses usually. In TV, for example, depending on the production schedule, I could have up to a 2-month hiatus during the year between seasons. And hiatuses are unpaid. That's why it's super important for animation artists to save their money, because there's going to be hiatuses. The TV show you're working on could be canceled, or the movie you're working on could be shelved at any point. But those are just the minimums. Different studios will pay different amounts, and different projects are going to have different budgets. So there's a lot of factors that go into your income. Plus, the longer you work as an animation artist, the more you will earn because you're gaining experience. And hopefully the companies you work for will see your value as an artist and an employee. So now I'm going to go over the average amount that animation artists are paid for each job title. To get an idea of the going rates for artists, the Animation Guild does an anonymous poll every year about the work artists have done, union or non-union, and what they were paid. The wage survey is also part of the collective bargaining agreement if you want to read on that document, or there's a separate link to it if you just want to see the averages, and it's also on that contracts and wages section of the website. Not a ton of people do the wage survey, but it'll still give you a general idea of people's wages for each job. The journey wage minimums that are from the collective bargaining agreement are also listed on here for reference, and you'll see some of the minimums that people listed that they were paid are lower than the union minimums, hopefully because those were just non-union jobs. Storyboard artists, the average pay is $2,161 per week, and some are paid up to $3,600 or $4,000 per week. That probably varies based on whether they're working in TV or feature. For layout artists, the average pay is $1,955 per week, and some are paid $2,877 per week. For background painters, the average pay is $1,960 per week, and some are paid up to $2,500 per week. For visual development artists, the average pay is $1,888 per week, which is the union minimum, and some are paid up to $3,555 per week. For character designers, I think that's what character layout is referring to here. We're learning together. Average pay for character designers is $2,100 per week, and some are paid up to $2,800 per week. Prop designers are paid an average of $1,888 weekly, which is the union minimum. They're paid up to $2,400 weekly. So, some fun extra points to cover about money. What about studios not in the Animation Guild? Some studios are not part of the Animation Guild, so they don't have to go by the union minimums. A big studio that is not in the Animation Guild is Pixar, and this is because actually Pixar is located in Northern California. The Animation Guild only covers studios in the Los Angeles area. As far as I know, they still haven't unionized up there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have lower rates of pay than Disney feature animation in LA. You'd really just have to ask someone who's worked at both how the pay would compare. But one thing I do know is living up around San Francisco is even more expensive than living in LA. Are you able to pay rent in LA? Yes. Starting out, I lived in a very small, not as nice apartment. Some artists choose to have roommates. Now I can live in a larger apartment because I split rent with my fiance. If your show or movie gets canceled, do you get laid off? Yeah. Hopefully this studio will try to retain you as an employee and place you onto another project, but that could take some time for something to open up. Will you ever be able to afford a house in LA? I don't know. Time will tell. I hope this video was helpful. I will link the Animation Guild's website, the contract and wages section down below if you want to check out those documents for yourself. Thank you to the Animation Guild for protecting the rights of artists like me, our wages, and our working conditions.
So, as you can see, Laura Price is she's very informative, and she's very sharing with her journey. So hopefully you found this inspirational, and if you want to follow her, you know, she gives you her YouTube link and also her Twitter account and her Instagram. I think, again, you need to surround yourselves, just like we all do, with positive people and people who can help us get to our next step, whatever that is, in whatever part of lives that we want to develop. So I hope you found this inspirational. Thank you for watching.